Hey there. So in this video, I'm going to give you a sneak peek or an overview of our Rootful Profit Accelerator system and specifically show you the software that we use to assess the profitability or the potential profitability of a business and show you how this gives you an X-ray view into your business financials and the potential profit that you have. So the first thing we're going to do is just look at the software here, and you'll see that it's not very exciting. It's some blurred out charts, some 12 different things here in the table, and I promise it's going to get more exciting. The first thing that we do is just have a brief introduction. You tell me about your business. Tell me why you got into business in the first place. Tell me why you decided to make this crazy journey of entrepreneurship, and your struggles that you've had over the past couple of years, your vision for where you want to go. I want to hear all of those things, and what your goals are for the next 3 years or 5 years. I want to get in your head, and I want to get a better idea of your heart and mind around your business, and that's really that is the foundation for what we're doing. It's the why. As kind of cliche as that has become, it's the why we're doing this. It's the why you did it. And that's where we start. So we start at an introduction, but then we jump over to some financial questions about your business. 3 specific areas: your annual revenue, that could be a rolling revenue, or that could be revenue from last year, previous year's revenue, and then your net profit margin and your gross profit margin. And for this example, we're going to jump over to a tool that I use with my clients, just to give them if they don't have a P&L or if they need to organize their P&L, this is kind of a place that I start. And we're going to use these financials here as our sample business. This is a consulting business. So we have $330,000 in annual revenue, and then our net profit is 11, and our gross profit is 73. So net profit 11, gross profit 73, and then we look for. I actually do some deeper research when I meet with clients for the first time to run them through this assessment, because I want some specific benchmarks for your industry, but not just your industry in your geographic location, because it can be a big difference. But for this example, we're just going to be using these nationwide benchmarks, which is net profit of 5%, gross profit margin of 74%. So this company is doing fairly well. So we're not going to see any dramatic changes here on the summary slide just yet, and that's because there's a third part of this of the introduction here, where we want to get a baseline valuation for your business. And I call this back of the envelope math. You can't take it to the bank. If you are going to do this officially, you need to go to a bank, or you need to go to someone who handles mergers and acquisitions to give you some more specific and I'm just going to say usable information when you take your business up for sale. But this gives you a starting point, and we like starting points. So just some basic questions of, has your business been in decline, steady, or growing? Has your industry been in decline, steady, or growing? What are your inventory and assets if you went to go liquidate or sell everything related to your business? Are your financials prepared by a bookkeeper or an accountant? Is there risk involved because one of your clients represents a large portion of your revenue? And then other things like, what's documented? Do you have processes and systems documented? Are your sales and marketing processes documented? Hopefully sales and marketing systems that are documented that actually work. That's better. For this, it's just kind of yes or no. Do you have them or don't you have them? And then a few more like, is your business scalable? If it took on new clients, could you actually expand your business? And then is there a large portion of recurring revenue, which recurring revenue is predictable revenue, which means when things are predictable, they're less risky. So the more recurring revenue you have, the more value your business is perceived to have, and the more valuable it will be to a potential buyer. And then as a default, we just have a basic valuation number that if you were to have already had your business valued, we could drop that number in here and basically overwrite it, because we want to respect that valuation that you hopefully received from a professional. So let me just quickly go through here and add some numbers, and we'll jump back to the summary screen and see how this all fits together and gives us a foundation. Okay, so jumping back to the summary screen here, now we have a starting point. We have this starting point, a valuation of, if you recall, we had $330,000 in current revenue or annual revenue, and the business is valued at around $520,000. Again, back of the envelope math, but this is our starting point. Obviously, nothing exciting going on here in total profit and impact. That's gonna be our next step. So we reviewed kind of the basic introductions, and once we get through this, now we're going to look at these specific strategies. So there's 12 strategies on the side here, from cost cutting to digital marketing. And in our initial assessment, I'm going to tell you, we're not going to get through all 12 of these. What we are going to do is go through some specific ones as we talk about your business. It's going to become clear that, okay, let's start here. Let's explore what this looks like. Let's explore what this looks like. So I'm going to walk through maybe just 3 or 4. I don't know. We'll see. But we're going to do just a couple here. And our goal is to get, my goal is usually to get at least $100,000 of total profit impact by just using a few of these strategies. So let's dive in and see what happens. So I think the place I want to start is market dominating position. And I'm just going to go through this quickly. I'm not going to fill all this out, but really what a market dominating position is, a formula that interrupts your ideal client. It engages, educates, and then presents an offer to them. And it's super powerful. It can have impacts of, 30, 40, 50% on a business. But just to be conservative, let's assume that if we build this market dominating position, let's say we can realize a 15% improvement when we apply it throughout your business messaging and things like that. But we'll take it one step further, and we'll also apply this for, if we can take this market dominating position and teach everybody that's involved in your business what it is, so everybody's saying the exact same thing. And again, this has huge impact. When you have unity in message for all the people who represent your brand, it is immensely powerful. So let's just say it's an additional 10% impact when you can apply this messaging to your people, not just your business. And let's just take a look to see how this impacts your business. This one simple area. Again, we picked market dominating position just because it's usually one of the places that we can improve. And we are already seeing, if we look up the top here, a profit impact of $60,000 or 166% increase. This is powerful stuff. But here's what's crazy. We're going to look at another area. And one of the things that it's important to know is when you make these improvements, each individual improvement is not an improvement upon itself. It is an improvement upon every other improvement that you make. This idea of exponential growth or compound growth, it's the same thing you hear when you talk about investments, where each investment that's made, when an improvement on that investment, when a gain is made on that investment, further gains are amplified, and it's all compounded to create an even greater result. And that's going to be the same thing you're going to see here. So let's go to a second strategy. Let's do downsell. Downsell is simply when you're presenting an offer in maybe a sales meeting or to an ideal client, and they just can't engage yet. though they want to engage, they're just not there. Maybe it is too expensive. Maybe it's too complicated for them right now. A downsell is something that you could offer that gets them in the door, gets them engaged. You get their credit card number, you get them on the books. And again, this is a powerful strategy because it allows people who want to engage with you another way to engage with you, and you can grow them into a bigger client. So let's say, again, these can have some pretty crazy impacts, 30, 40, 50% or more to create these downsell offers. But again, let's just say, let's just go with like a 12% increase. And then let's do another one with small business owner, increase pricing. Pricing is, for a small business owner, is often a very emotional topic. I've seen that. I've firsthand experienced this as I've had my small businesses throughout the year, especially a small business where I had a pottery studio and I made pottery. This was right out of college. It's so immensely personal when you talk about what's the value I'm giving. And it's not an easy thing, and you want to do it strategically, but it can have an immensely impactful, a big impact on your business, and honestly, kind of on your self-confidence too, because it's all, what am I worth? What's my time worth? What's my product worth? And let's just say, let's just start out small. Let's say we do a 5% increase in your pricing. And as just a start, and it gets the ball rolling. Again, there's more to all of this, but I'm going through it quickly. So let's just say a 5% increase in pricing. And then let's do, for the last one here, let's do compelling offer. A compelling offer is again, it's something that it can have a major impact. It's this messaging around an offer that makes it, as cliche as it sounds, it's an offer that someone can't refuse. It doesn't have to be a product. It doesn't actually have to even be something that's sold, but it's something that gets somebody engaged with you, engaged with your brand, engaged with your business. And it ends up being an email address. It ends up being, it could end up being an actual sale. But whatever it is, they're so compelled by it that they can't help but engage. And let's just say here, again, these can have some pretty big numbers, but let's do like a 12% increase here. And let's head back to our summary to see where we're at. Okay, so total profit impact, $142,000 at 393% improvement in your business by just looking at these 4 areas. There's 12 areas on this left-hand sidebar. There's actually 40 areas in this whole system. And that's a second step in the journey. But the reality is, over a 12-month span, if you've just focused on these 4 things, you have the potential to increase your business in a sizable way, in an impactful way. Profit is money in your pocket, or profit is money to be used in strategic ways to go out and achieve your personal or business goals and accelerate those things that you're trying to accomplish. Profit is so important. Not greedy profit, not mega profit, but healthy profitability will unlock the rest of what you're trying to do. And that's where we like to focus. And you can see the kind of impact when you focus in on some key strategic areas. But the sticking point is you have to do it. And that's the other part of what I do with my clients, and what the Rootful company does is we work with our clients to implement this. This system has the step-by-step process that generally applies to most small businesses. But the fun part is we get to dive into the nuance of, how does the market dominating position apply to your business? What is the market dominating position? What's going to interrupt your ideal client and make them stop and want to engage? What kind of compelling offer can we make? How can we begin to increase pricing? And how can we create something that gets somebody in the door and we can offer them a downsell when they're not quite ready to engage? there's all nuance of how it applies to your business, but it's not. These things are so common. It's just not rocket science, but it needs careful implementation, and it needs thoughtful implementation. And we have a whole system that helps educate you around each one of these things, and helps walk you through each one of these things in a relationship that ultimately empowers you to know what you're doing and to make these really good decisions. And we walk with you each step of the way. This is what makes me so excited, that I get to work with you in your business, implementing these things and watching the profitability just skyrocket. So that is the Rootful Profit Accelerator System and the software that we use. There's a whole other side of this that when we go through an assessment with you, you'll be able to see so much more. And the first thing we do with our clients when they sign on with us is we walk them through every one of these areas on the left-hand sidebar. We go through all 12 of these foundational areas of your business. So I promised you a tool that you could get your hands on some of these numbers and this idea of exponential growth, and I want to show you that now. So here is the Profit Acceleration Simulator. This is this hands-on tool that will allow you to play around with your business numbers and some of these numbers and see how they will impact your business. There's also a video here that will walk you through the idea of exponential growth and how it helps your business explode as you work through these areas. And it's very simple. We'll just do it together here. 330,000. We'll use the same numbers as we did before. I think this was 73. Net profit was 11, and US dollars. And here's where you start to see the impact. This slider will just adjust all of these things at the same rate. And you can see already at just having a 1.4% impact, or 1.4% improvement in each of these 12 areas, takes a current profit from $36,300 to $81,000. And that's just, it's so small of an impact. It's so small of a number when we're talking about making improvements here. And you can go through and you can adjust. Again, let's say we had a 15 here in market dominating, or a 10 in market dominating position. Let's say we implemented our price increase, 5%. We created some bundles, and that's a 2% impact. We figured out what are some additional products and services that you can sell to your clients that you already have. And let's say that's a 3% impact. You can play around with this tool and you can begin to see these numbers grow. So let's just put even the score here at 2% impact across the board. And I just want to show you, we're at over $100,000 already. But then you can also come in here and see the deep dive, where you can see all 40 areas that we have in our system here, and the kind of impact that can have. Again, this is hard work. There's a lot here to implement. But that's what we do. We walk with you to do all these things, and it covers, every part of your business, from digital marketing strategies like email marketing, website optimization, SEO, to things that are a little bit more on the admin side with legacy side, with setting up some legal frameworks, some policies and procedures, developing referral systems, and even things to increasing your sales strategies, your sales training, your sales system, and dealing and just helping you improve as an overall business leader in these other key areas of your business. You will learn so much through this. You will learn through our learning library how to actually implement these, and we will walk through them together. And you will grow not just your profits, but you will grow as a capable, more than capable. You will grow not just your profits, but you will grow into an exceptional business leader who knows how to deal with things that come at them on a day-to-day basis in business. And you will reap the benefits from this. You can see here all 40 of these areas going from a current profit of $36,000 to, let's say, 5-year impact, taking this business to a $1.5 million business. And frankly, I think it can be done much quicker than that, because we're talking about some small incremental numbers here that when we actually go to apply them, they are typically much bigger. But we like to be conservative to show you the sheer power of this exponential growth and the Rootful profit acceleration system. So thanks for sticking with me. I hope you find this tool to be useful, and please reach out. Let's get on the books. Give me the chance to run you through this assessment, and let's see together what potential that your business has to grow into a profitable business that grows its leaders and grows an irresistible, influential brand.